Hey, what's up guys?
Forest
TRG Gaming
one.
here. I just want to start by apologizing. I lost some gameplay footage for this episode, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. So we start off by doing some training regimens and seeing if we can boost some of these players' stats because I feel my wings are fine, my striker is fine, as Marvin Sordell, as you'll see in the gameplay, scored a hat-trick in the game before. In the League Cup, I think it was against Crew? Not entirely sure. I think it was against Crew, but I lost that gameplay footage due to my capture card overlapping onto what you're about to see. But anyway, nobody moves up, and we're going to advance through to the first game of this episode. Well, the only game of this episode, which is Port Vale away. So before we do that, I'm going to have a look at some of my transfer targets and see if there's anyone that's worth picking up, anyone young enough, seeing what they're worth, seeing how much I can get them for, and seeing if they're young and promising because, like, I have a goalkeeper, Elliot Parish, who's just he's good for now, but if I want to move up in the leagues, he's not going to be good enough, and that's something that I'm kind of struggling with a little bit because I feel my defense is just not good enough to survive this league. So here I'm making some changes, putting Sordell up front, Monocure in the middle, and then bring on Elliot Harry, who we got on loan from Charlton Athletic, who has just been a god, like absolute god. He's swinging the balls in, throwing his way around, getting past the defenders, running up and down the lines, which is absolutely epic for a 67 rated left mid. Like, that's something you expect Eden Hazard to do, not Elliot Harriet, I think his name is. So yeah, we get into the first game, Port Vale away. And as usual, let's see how we get on. I must admit, FIFA 16 introducing these, oh, and you see the Marvin Sordell hat trick in the last game. Sorry, I just had to close the door there. So in case you heard that, that's what that was. So Port Vale's lineup. I'm not very familiar with League One teams, but it looks pretty strong, and I mean pretty damn strong. Shake hands with the opposite side and see how we get on. You know, that bit of sign of respect before a game. This is our lineup. I really want to change my fullbacks like so badly because I feel yeah, our left back is doing a good job, but I think for like a couple of 100,000, we could probably find better who can do his job plus everyone else's plus what he's meant to be doing, which is hard to come by in a left back. But our right back is awful, and I mean absolutely awful. Everyone gets past him. Everyone just runs away with it and thinks nothing of it, which is not exactly good for a League One side when you need a strong defense. And my priorities in this first season is to start building a team that, come the rest of the season, come the end of next season, is ready to challenge in the Premier League for at least safety, let alone anything else. Because I don't particularly want to go get up to the Premier League and get relegated in like what the third season, sorry. That's not exactly what I'm aiming for. But here you can see a nice through ball, and then I get caught offside. Mistimed it completely, and the defense caught me out, which was not ideal, but as you'll see in this gameplay, this game was just awful. It was very, very tight, and there wasn't a lot of chances created, which caused a lot of problems for both me and, well, them as well. I mean, Port Vale, from what I know of them in real life, aren't that bad of a team, but they literally held the ball, held the possession, and stopped me running away with it. I mean, there was a couple of chances where I put Sordell through, or Monaco through, or Harrier through, and nothing come of it because they just were able to shut us down. They were able to predict what I was going to do. So I sent it back to the keeper for a bit of safety. No, they sent it back, sorry. But they're just getting straight past my right back. It's not ideal. I mean, Parrish in goal, doing an absolute brilliant job, but he's not what I want. We get into the second half, and there was just nothing for the rest of this game. Like, the first half was awful. So I thought I'll change it up in about the 70th minute and see what happens. And as you'll see, I don't think a lot really happened, to be honest with you. Like, we just got torn apart. But we managed to hold our own and get the 0-0 draw. So our first points of the season. We've had a win, we've had a loss, we've had a draw. So it's not that bad, but it's not that great either. So great start from Parish there. See if we can get him on the counter attack. And as I said, look, every time you try something, except this moment was absolutely brilliant, but just failed at the last minute. Get a corner out of it, and corners in FIFA 16 aren't really ideal to have. I mean, like, if anyone remembers FIFA 14, they were just broken as shit. You used to be able to just float in, and you'd have Mertesacker in that Arsenal team, or Mertesacker on the Ultimate team, and you'd only have him to win headers in the defence and win headers at the corner. And when he did both, he was absolutely brilliant. But this year, it's not about winning the headers. It's not about, well, it's not about corners, sorry. Crossing in is still vital as hell, as always has been. But just corners are just not exactly that great anymore, and they're not producing the winning goals. They're not producing the winning gameplay. They're just not really that anything anymore. Like, I can remember when you used to play Ultimate Team, you used to sit there on counter-attacking and like ultra defensive. You used to run off of that one odd bit, get a corner and go and score and hold on for the rest of the game. And like Ultimate Team FIFA 14 was my game. FIFA 15, FIFA 16 I suck at. I mean, you'll probably see that later on in a couple of videos later than this, because I think I'm going to do a Draft to Glory series, well, a Draft to Glory episode at least. And you'll see that I'll probably just get knocked out in the first round, and Marvin Sordell misses an absolute bomber of a chance right there. Like, he literally had to just tap it past the keeper was beat, and we could have won the game then, but we didn't. We just fucked up. And I mean, Sordell is not a bad striker. He's quite clinical, actually, and he's someone I quite like from this team, but he's not going to do very well if he keeps missing those, and we need to get him on the score sheet. Ideally, otherwise his confidence is going to go, his happiness is going to go. And this is what I mean when I said earlier on, like, they shut down everything we tried. It was only a mistake by them.
3, Fleetwood Town 0. Burton Albion 1, Southend United 0. Bury 0, Wigan Athletic 2. Chesterfield 1, Gillingham 1. Crewe Alexandra 2, Coventry City 1. Oldham Athletic 2, Peterborough United 2. Port Vale 0, Colchester United 0. Rochdale 2, Blackpool 2. Scunthorpe United 0, Sheffield United 2. Shrewsbury Town 2, Swindon Town 2. Walsall 2, Millwall 3.
If anyone uses the MC coins, like one decent player to find, I've done that as well.